welcome back to the Ponley Hockey Postgame Show. It is time for our Jack D'Ambrosio Auto Group Drive of the Game. GoJeffAuto.com. All right, guys. I feel like in recent weeks we've been out of character in this segment, kind of struggling to find good drives. I think we have plenty to choose from this game, especially in the first half. Eagles put up 28 points. Did only put up 10 in the second half, but can't really complain there. So who wants to go first? I'm not going to pick on anyone tonight.
I'll go first.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go with the second drive of the game. Now, the first drive was so important because they went right down the field, so they had to lead. But the drive that made it 14-0 was only 52 yards. I mean, 8 plays, 52 yards. But it had two of the craftiest plays I've seen. And this is an illustration of how well coached that was. It was the great call when they went on a fake quarterback sneak alignment, and they flipped it out the game well. They got him a first down on that play. And then they got to they got the ball down the field deep, and they had the two wide receiver alignment and the mini bubble screen to Devontae Smith on the outside, which was a crafty call. It was Hurts' 7th straight completion, and that gave him the 14-0 lead. I thought that those two plays, coming off the heels of them stopping the Giants on downs with what Reddick did, I thought transformed the game and put it right in their favor.
I am going to go with the initial drive of the game because coming into this game, there was so much speculation about how's Lane, how's Jalen. 2 plays into the game, Jalen unloads a 40-yard strike to Devonta Smith. Later in the drive, Jalen takes off on a 6-yard run. Harmless 6-yard run, but he let you know that he's back. He took the hit, let you know that he was back. But the capper was Dallas Goedert makes this one-hand catch, splits tacklers, and dives in for the touchdown. That brought the house down. That drive, the finishing play brought the house down, set the tone for what was to come. I don't disagree with Mike, but just to be different, I'm going to go with that as my drive of the game.
And that Devontae catch, I feel like that was when, I mean, really early in the game, but I was like, okay, they're back. The Eagles that we've seen throughout most of the regular season are back. Seth?
I'm going to agree with D. Gunn, partly because that first drive, bar none, is the most important drive of the game because it answered all the questions. It checked all the boxes. You know, was Jalen 100%? Was Lane going to be able to make it through the game? You know, what was the mindset of the coaches going to be? They came out in the first play of the game, they ran the football. And I can't go that second series because I can't stand them damn bubble screens that they run that only work 25% of the time, Mike Missinelli.
but A.J. Brown lined up with Devontae, made a great block on that.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate that when a wide receiver blocks.
Do we have time for a question of the game?
We do.
What the hell happened to Quez Watkins today?
Well, or A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown only had, I think, 17.
No, I'm talking about even plays.
I don't even know if he
didn't get a target. I don't even know how many.
Did
he dress today?
Yeah.
He was on the field. I saw him 1 or 2 plays.
Yeah.
But Zach Pascal actually started the game as the 3rd receiver today.
He didn't make a catch. I don't know if he was targeted either. I agree. Who? Quez Watkins.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. He was a mystery man today.
And I wonder what happened. Was it something that went wrong, you know, in practice this week?
Well, have we seen much from Quez since I think it definitely against the Cowboys in the game before that where he didn't really fight for the ball and then it ended up in a turnover?
Yeah, but we were talking about it tonight when Jalen overthrew that ball to A.J. Brown in the end zone, the deep ball.
Yeah.
I turned to the guys and I'm like, you know, that's a Quez Watkins play. Why isn't he in the game going to get those balls? Because, you know, A.J. Brown is your number one. There's no doubt about it. But A.J. wasn't going to get that ball. Quez would have hit another gear and went and got that ball. Those are his types of plays, not the slant routes that he got out muscled against Dallas about.
Yeah.
We were talking about that, though, and I remember us having a discussion at the time. Maybe now it's time for Pascal. He doesn't want to fight for the ball. Maybe they were sending a message today with him.
Yeah, I think the game plan was to run the football. They ran the ball 44 times for 268 yards. And if you're going to do that, you need wide receivers that are willing to block. A.J. Brown and Zach Pascal will block. Quez Watkins, not so much maybe.
Yeah, no, I don't know why. Maybe they're sending a message. Maybe they were disappointed in what he did earlier in the season. Doesn't seem like a playoff game is the type of thing to send a message for.
No. Last time we seen that it happened with New England and a Super Bowl winning cornerback kind of disappeared and no explanation was ever given.
The only time you send a message in a game like this, to play off of what Devin is saying about, a playoff game is not when you want to send a message. It's when you have a team that's that deep in talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so that's what I've heard a lot with A.J. Brown's lack of production today. A lot of people are saying, they're saving him for next week, which I don't know if that's.
No. At this point, you don't save anybody.
Right. It's the playoffs. I don't know if they're saving anyone.
Well, I think it's one of those things where, you hear Jalen Hurts talk about it all the time. Whoever's open is going to get the ball. Whoever's in the read and whatever the progression is, they're going to get the ball. It just so happens that, Devontae Smith had 10 targets tonight. I don't think there's been a game all year, maybe one, maybe the first Washington game where he had more targets than A.J. Brown. And I don't know whether A.J. is a little nicked up. I don't know whether, he's a little pissed off because he didn't get but 6 targets. But you could tell that he wasn't happy, with the amount of with his own production and how many times he was targeted today.
He needs to get over that and roll next week.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, that is our Jeff D'Ambrosio Auto Group drive of the game. Go JeffAuto.com and stick around because we have game balls presented by Colony Pools coming up after this break.
Jeff D'Ambrosio doesn't need a special event to appreciate his customers. Jeff shows his appreciation to them every day of the year. Jeff makes sure to stock more new inventory than anyone and guarantees prices and payments that nobody can beat. There are so many reasons that thousands of customers know Jeff is the easy, friendly place to do business. More for their trades. No judgment zone for credit issues. The best, most reliable service department in the country. That's why I like Jeff, and I know you will too. Jeff will satisfy you every day. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Owner Appreciation Event.